The New York Giants have officially hit rock bottom with a close loss to arguably the worst team in the NFL, the Carolina Panthers in Germany. They pretty much got outplayed the whole game. Chuba Hubbard went off. That Giants defense is just terrible against the run. Bryce Young looked pretty competent, fair play to him, but man, Danny Dimes, a couple of really bad picks, and they got to do something in the offseason, man. I just don't know how you run it back with this coaching staff and Daniel Jones especially. But yeah, man, the Giants are pretty much the worst team in the NFL as of today, and just a brutal loss, embarrassing loss. Granted, it was close, but like against a team like the Panthers, if it's a competitive or a close game, that's a major red flag. And yeah, rough stuff. Sorry, Giants fans. There are some bright spots on this team, though. Obviously, you have Brian Burns on defense, but also Tracy has emerged as a pretty consistent RB so far, and he could be a good piece going forward. You also obviously have Malik Neighbors. So it's not completely just a wasteland on this roster, even though there are a lot of holes and whatnot. But the owner of the Giants actually made a comment a few weeks ago that the GM and Brian Dabol would be retained for the 2025 year. And I thought that was really an interesting quote considering how the season has gone so far. I think he should redact that quote because I feel like everything is on the table when you lose to the worst team in the NFL. Really unacceptable stuff. I mean, they didn't score until the third quarter today. To get shut out, to get outplayed like that against the Panthers is just, it's humiliating. Just completely humiliating. So yeah, if I'm the owner, I would definitely probably let go of Brian Dabol following this year. He really only had one good season as the head coach of the Giants, and that was the first year with Danny Dimes, which he also had irregular good year, an outlier sort of year. But so far in Dabol's career with the Giants, every other season has been pretty atrocious. Last year was embarrassing. This year is on the same level, but it's looking like it could be worse. So I don't know, man. I would just cut my losses and just try to upgrade the head coaching position because it's not working. It's just not working. Straight up, it's just not working. And if they do go that route, I know one head coaching candidate would be very interested in taking over the New York Giants, and that would be Bill Belichick, longtime defensive coordinator for the Giants, won a couple of rings with the Giants, put together some legendary defenses with the Giants, and his heart is still with that team. He's made some quotes about it in the past couple of months on his media runs. Still has a lot of love for that organization and franchise, and I feel like he would definitely be interested in that job, and I feel like he would go there. If Dabol gets fired, I really think Bill would end up in New York. Would that work? I'm not sure, but I know for a fact that defense would be a lot better, more competent, and it wouldn't be so poor against the run. I mean, Chuba just went off today, bro. He just went off, absolutely destroyed them, ate up the Giants D. Would it work? Not sure, but the defense would be better. They still have to address the quarterback situation. They gotta get off that Danny Dimes contract. They just gotta move on. He's just a backup, man. He's just not an NFL starting quarterback. He's just not that caliber. The fact that he's got so many years to keep trying to prove that he is just ridiculous. And I don't know what they were thinking in the offseason as well, with them not re-signing Saquon Barkley, and then of course 2 years ago they gave him that contract. So by default, I really think they should get a new GM in there as well. I just the Giants have a lot of work to do, and their team record shows that they're 2-8 at the bottom of the NFL, like I've stated many times, and I'm gonna keep stating it because I feel like they could have a top 3 pick this year, which is just unacceptable. If your team finishes in the bottom 3 of an NFL year, I think everybody should be kind of canned to a certain extent. Especially with a guy like Brian Dabol, man. I mean, there's no reason why this guy shouldn't get fired by the end of the year. Like, come on, man. If he comes back and then the GM comes back and Danny Dimes comes back for the 2025 year, Giants fans, like, move on. Like, you just gotta move on. That's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. Let me know if you agree with my take. Should the Giants move off of Brian Dabol and their GM and Danny Dimes? I really don't know who would. I really don't know who wouldn't agree with me there. But if you do, let me know in the comments. The Giants' remaining opponents on their schedule are the Bucks after their bye week at home, at Cowboys, and then in December, Saints, Ravens, Falcons, Colts, and then they finish off the year in Philly. Not an easy schedule whatsoever there. I feel like all those teams are pretty much playoff teams or playoff bubble sort of teams. But then again, man, you lose to a team like the Panthers that was kind of like a shoe-in game, supposedly. They were a heavy favorite in that game. Vegas was wrong. So I totally expect them to lose every game going forward. Maybe they could sneak out a win against, I don't know who, but maybe they can. But yeah, man, dark, dark times for New York, the Giants franchise. And again, my advice, just can the coaching staff. Start from scratch, start from new, hopefully draft a good quarterback, and of course get rid of Danny Dimes. And yeah, man, Giants season is over. It's been over for quite some time now, but this just really cements it, and just an embarrassing loss, especially on Danny Dimes, man. Those 2 picks, like, it's just, he's not an NFL quarterback. Like, he's not a starting NFL quarterback. He's a career backup. It just blows my mind that he's gone so many years as the QB1 for the Giants when that's what he is. That performance today, that's who he is. So, yeah, I don't get it, but sorry, Giants fans, again. Let me know if you agree with me. Let me know what you think about the Giants. And if you made this far, please subscribe. It'd help out your boy a ton. That's all I got for right now. Peace.